Welcome to the PAX Hospitality Podcast. I am your host, Leon Kennedy. And today I'm sitting here with the amazing Loren Daniels. What's up, Loren?
Hey.
Thanks for being here. So today it's an interesting one. I recently was able to be interviewed on ABC with Rochelle Hunt. So shout out to Rochelle. And I inadvertently talked about the topic of reservation strategies in restaurants. I was being interviewed for something else, but that's just kind of what came up. And it was crazy once it did, because I feel like, you and I have been working together for so long now, and it kind of feels like a part of our daily conversation, or at least weekly strategy planning. It's like it's so central to what we do. And after, I got off the radio that day, my phone just kind of blew up with so many people that were just reaching out, being like, what is a reservation strategy and how the fuck do I leverage that?
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, this is not a thing that's everywhere, right? Like there is literally probably a restaurant within 100 meters of where we're sitting right now that is still just using a notebook and a pen to track their bookings, right?
The golden days.
Yeah, and so it's funny that it's in our little world, it's such a hot topic, and obviously, we're in an amazing position now to help lots of our clients at PAX, to optimize their businesses with this stuff. But just thought, what an opportunity to do a quick episode about it, because it's a concept that even if you just understand it on the most rudimentary level, it's going to add a few percent to your business. It's just going to make you that little bit better, and then and potentially make a huge material impact. So how do you feel about walking through that topic today?
Yeah, excited. I think if we're talking about quick wins in this space, this is the fastest results that you'll see if you can kind of get under the hood of this in your business. You'll see results in days.
Got it.
So
because it's just conversion, right?
It's unblocking funnels.
Got you.
And
if we just, those are really buzzy terms, right? Like funnels and conversion. And I mean, in the most simplistic way possible, it's literally just like, how easily can I make a booking at a restaurant?
Yeah. Well, and I think when you set up a restaurant, right, you cost model the success of that restaurant based on how many people can come through and dine.
Yes.
So when you build a restaurant and you buy your tables and chairs, that has to line up. How many people can actually book in and dine, and does that stack up against the cost modelling you've done? And so the reservation strategy is that, is making sure that those two things marry up.
Got it.
And whether that's in a system or it's pen and paper, you need to know how many people we need to get in every single night to hit the green. And the reservation...
It gives you those parameters, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you have, 100 tables, and that means 100 people, we need to make sure the levers or the funnels are gearing the right way for those people to be able to book in and fill those seats.
Sure, because, got it. And I just keep going to my own anecdotal, experiential, version of this. So in the last week, there's been 2 bookings that I've made. Yeah. Okay. And one of them was kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Right. And it was, I don't know, man.
Tell me.
Yeah. So I obviously won't mention the name or anything, but I jump in and I'm like, okay, there's just so much information to work through. I'd never been there before.
Yeah.
So it's hitting me with these questions like, do you want to sit in one of these 3 areas?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know
I've never been there.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, and it was like a business meeting.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, I need to be conscious of, X, Y, and Z. And then I go through all the shit. 7 pages later, I finally got my reservation with a $90 deposit, which I was thinking, shit, I don't know, man, we might just be having drinks. I don't know if we're going to rack up $90, whatever, I'll pay it because it's an important meeting. But anyway, and then an hour, after I made the booking, one of the people in the meeting was like, hey, can we actually meet at 3 o'clock instead of 4? And I'm like, fuck.
I've got to go through the gauntlet again.
I couldn't actually do it. I clicked there's a button saying manage booking. I tried to hit that. It took me to just nowhere. So I literally had to resort to emailing the restaurant, hoping for the best. And I was like, you know what? I'd already gone through all these other scenarios of how I'm like, look, if they don't respond to me, or if they get back and say no, or maybe they don't open that early, I'm like, all right, where else can I go for an hour?
Yeah.
You know, and then pause the meeting, then move us to just nightmare.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then the other experience was literally last night.
Yeah.
So we got like a, you know, date night tonight. I booked us at 400 Grady.
Yeah.
Now, these guys really understand this topic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I literally, from hitting their Google listening to making a booking was like 2 buttons.
Great.
And I was in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
So is that a good representation of the spectrum?
Yeah, because you're talking about 2 things. You're talking about access. So how quickly can I do what I need to do?
Yeah.
And is the optimal availability there that restaurant actually has?
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is barriers to book.
Yes.
So the more layers you add, the more likely you are to lose people.
Right. And that's a really good point. So in the first instance of my little experience this week, there was just so much policy being shouted at me.
But then you had to email them anyway.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah.
But I had to put my credit card details. I had to do so much work to get this booking.
Yeah.
And the only reason, so, you know, I don't live in a city, Melbourne, right? I live, you know, pretty far, like half an hour out.
Yeah.
And so the only reason I persevered is because there was just no other options out there.
Yeah.
You know, and so I had to do it.
Yeah.
But if I was like, you know, if I was booking somewhere around here, I would have given up.
Yeah, given up after screen 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then I guess, you know, you make that point, right? So it's around that initial part, which is just access and removing those lines of friction.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But just from a tangibility perspective, like if I had a restaurant, you know, and I was coming to you for advice, and you only had 40 seconds, and that's all you gave me.
Yeah.
I could go, all right, I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to work through that user experience and try and reduce the friction.
Yeah.
How much of a result is that going to get me on its own?
Well, a lot, particularly if there's friction there, you know, if you're not looking at it. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes venues do is they set up their reservation strategy early days and never really adjusted again.
Dude, yeah. So that was kind of where I was hoping you'd go, because that's the other thing, right? It's like you kind of, you know, you go on and you set up the platform, and you go, okay, I've got to do this and I've got to do that, because you're thinking worst case scenario, you know, which is like, oh, well, what happens if it's Saturday night and too many people want to book?
Yeah.
That you should be like, that would be a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Right. Let's first achieve that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And work out the policies, because then you just go, all right, well, here's my rules now, my architecture for a Saturday night. And then it's the same thing on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you're never going to have that problem on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But you're not in there daily. You don't look at it as an agile tech platform.
A lot of operators don't. Like that's why there are dedicated teams that do this, that sit in front of it all day.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
But
why does it have to be to that extent? Like, how come you can't just be like, hey, venue manager, make sure you're on this every day?
Well, you can and you should. And I think the change that's happened in hospitality over the last 10 years with more emphasis on digital and pre-dining, that pre-dining experience. I just don't know if operators have caught up to that.
Sure.
So it should be part of their morning checklist of what am I looking at, not just for tonight on the books, but what am I looking at next week? How's our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, our typically soft nights? Have I set that up to do hundreds like a Saturday? And that's not going to happen. So I've got, you know, my availability doesn't reflect how many spots I've got in the restaurant. Like you've got to turn those dials daily, not just for today.
Sure, you've got to be always thinking about it and looking ahead. And so what I hear in that is step 1 is just unblock the entrance. Right? And, you know, because it's literally like, you know, you were liken it to, you know, you turn up to work and the council's suddenly ripping up your street to work for 10 days. And where goes my trade? It's kind of like that, right? But a digital version. So you got to unblock that. And then I think where we're going to go with this is into all of the supporting stuff that will help you once you've unblocked the funnel. But just while we're on this, so if I'm listening to this going, holy shit, I've never thought about this before. How many guests and how many tables am I losing a night, and I want to get stuck in, where do I start? Like, just practically speaking.
The first place would be test it like a customer or like get your mum on it, right?
Yeah.
Because if they can't make a booking really easily, that's a problem. When you're testing it and making a booking, if that doesn't reflect to you, it's like I know I've got shitloads of space. I've only got 20 covers on the books tonight. I can definitely do some more. If that's not reflecting in your availability online or on your Google reserve, then you've got work to do.
Love that. So that's genius. So I mean, effectively, it's user testing, but I like actually want to do this. It's like hit up my most non-hospo mate. Yeah. Like, bro, jump on a Google Meet with me. Yeah. Share your screen, and I'm just going to record you making a booking in this restaurant tonight.
I do it all the time. I worked on a venue recently that has 1 million different booking options, and to set them up is quite complex. So it's get on the phone to my little sister and make a booking and tell me how annoyed you were with it.
We should actually incorporate this into the PAX audit.
Your mum.
I mean, I'm already trying to get her to help us with leadership development. So
I feel like your mum's quite astute. We should probably the bar should be lower.
Find a better test case. Okay, so that's first step. Do some user testing. Experience it. See what pops out. And just be logical.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are some of the things? Tell me two things. What are some of the things you'd expect to pop up in that? Mm-hmm. And then also, what are some things that might not pop up in that I'd then also have to think about?
Well, what should pop up is your ultimate availability. So if I'm a party of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, test all of them.
Yes.
Because if the availability isn't spitting out your larger party sizes, for example, it means in the back end you haven't set things up correctly for table joins and,
The larger party one's great as well because so many people just have a one policy rule, right? It's kind of like, hey, if you're more than 6, then you have to be set menu because you're thinking about that worst case scenario on a Saturday night. Yeah. Whereas, hey, if it's Tuesday, take them. Like, you probably got space for it. Yeah. So even if you're like, you need to be at 8 packs or a 10 packs needs to be on a set menu, maybe on a Tuesday, it's all right.
It's okay. Yeah. Be a bit more realistic. Like, the 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Totally.
Vibe.
I mean, and is it relatively easy to make, like, what sort of platform? Like, there's lots of different platforms you can use, right?
Yeah.
And some are going to be better than others.
Yeah.
Because you want the thing that's going to enable you to just jump in, untick that box, done. Yeah. Not have to be like, shit, all right, I'm going to have to go in, do this, then make sure it exports there.
Yeah. I need to be able to code to do this. I think if we talk about the main players, so OB, 7 Rooms and Open Table pretty much dominate the whole market here. Mm-hmm. All of their back ends is the same sort of setup.
Got it.
In that every single table that you have in the restaurant, you set up what capability that table has.
Yeah, got you. Okay. So then you're likely to experience, like you said, so full availability is a great one, and specific to the night as well is a great one. Then do you go into like the policy stuff around, shouting rules at people?
Yeah, and some venues need to have rules and, if they are in the country and somebody doesn't show up, like I get it.
Yeah, okay.
But I think the times have changed a lot and diners are far more respectful of that. Mm-hmm. And if your reservation strategy is as open as possible, you won't care about a no-show.
Right. Because someone else will just book it.
Yeah, and I think we sort of covered it before, but setting things up with this ultimate lens of being conservative, of, oh my God, we're going to be so busy every single night, so I need to plan my reservations based on the fact that we might do 120 covers.
Right.
It's like, just get realistic before you set that up.
Yeah, 100%. That's gold. It makes so much sense, and my mind's reeling now with just like all the 1%ers that.
Oh, and this is what res strategy is. It's 1%ers.
Yeah, right. Okay, so it's just an aggregate of how many you can get on.
Yeah.
So then, what do you think might be some of the hidden things that I wouldn't observe if I was getting my mate to make a booking and I was watching him just struggle?
You were watching them struggle and trying to figure out, well, why are they struggling?
No, more like, obviously I'm going to watch that experience and we're like, okay, we've got to change that, we've got to change that, we've got to change that. But then after that experience is over, are there other things that are blocking that funnel that I might not see in that experience?
Yeah, Google Reserve is a big one, right?
Okay,
so
got it.
if you don't have that talking to your reservation system, and so many more people are booking on Google Reserve than ever before, right? Like a year ago, this wouldn't have been as high on my radar. So if you don't have them synced or you're not updating it, people will just assume that they don't have availability based on just searching for you on Google.
Got you.
They'll check. They'll go to make a booking, not see availability, and then bounce. They won't even go to your website.
Right, totally. So then, this is a good, not a segue necessarily, but I feel like we're venturing into maybe the shared space on the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Something that you and Michael have talked about a lot that has really resonated with me is the idea of like the scare off factor on menus, because you nailed it, right? You're like, man, all the data, it's really fucking clear. People experience your brand somewhere and they go immediately to your website. And what is it, like 99.8% of people that visit a website only go to the menu.
Yeah.
So then if you click that menu and the menu is either not up to date or it's just got things, it's got obscure ingredients on there that I don't understand, or it's got really expensive, market items on there that might not be representative of your overall experience. Like, these are all things that are going to make me go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't book here.
Yeah.
Or I don't really know what that is. Maybe next time kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And so is that, would you consider that type of thinking part of res strategy or part of a bigger thing, or both?
It's both. So res strategy guest services to me encompasses everything that happens before the guest is in the restaurant dining and after.
Yeah, okay.
With the purpose of capturing them and getting them through, and on the other side the purpose of getting them back again.
Yeah, okay.
So that
so
that
on the first
includes,
part about getting them through, that's where you've got to think about those things. Your Google listing, is it representing who you actually are?
Exactly.
Because how many times do you look at someone's Google listing? It doesn't even tell you, what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another easy one, right?
Yeah.
Like I could just jump onto my Google listing as long as, I can remember the password and, and just like update that.
If you don't even have a website, you need to own your Google listing.
Got you. Yeah.
Not that nobody doesn't have a website.
Yeah.
But your Google listing, your website and your social media, whatever the hell you are, make sure all three of those things say the same thing.
In a busy service, seconds count. Square's point of sale is there to streamline your operations, from order flowing from the front of house to the back of house to tableside payments with Square handheld. It's tech your staff will love to use and tech they won't need to fiddle with, so they can focus on the best service. Head to squareup.com because service still matters.
Okay, and then if we just stay on the menu side of it for a second, so, you've got to go through that process, right? Make sure it's like I can go from Instagram or Google or whatever very quickly to looking at a menu.
Yeah.
And when I'm looking at that menu, I want it to basically not have any scare off factors in there. So things like price point obscurity, but also something that's really, really cool is probably, I don't know, I reckon we're going back about 8 months ago. I got to see live in front of me that I was having lunch with someone who's vegan.
Yeah.
And it was just like a kind of like a meeting and lunch, and we sat down, and it was just really awkward, the whole experience for them, because, the restaurant that we were at, you can understand where they were coming from. Their mindset is, hey, we cater for everyone.
Yeah.
But we don't tell you that up front.
Yeah.
So for this person, they were like just looking at a menu, because we walk in, they seat us, they give us menus, and then they bounce, and then they sort of come back at some point to explain the menu, and that's the point where they're just like, hey, are there any dietaries or whatever? And then once you say, oh yeah, hey, I'm vegan, then they go and talk you through your own little individual spiel, and it kind of feels like you're in trouble. And it's like, okay, but so you're obviously catering for people that have particular dietary requirements, but you kind of make them work for it to know what they are. And so this person, I was asking this person, I was like, hey, how was that for you? And they were just like, oh, yeah, pretty awkward. Like, it was tough. And, I don't want to be singled out as the vegan that needs a special program. Like, I wish it would just say it on the menu. If we just say that, okay, cool, I know what I can have. Because the chef will look at, but that could be vegan, but man, no one's going to walk into your restaurant, sit there and make those assumptions.
Yeah.
So one of the things that was really smart that we acted on at the time, which Michael did, was to sort of go, hey, you know what? Let's have dietary requirement menus. Like, let's have a vegan menu on the website.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, when that, you know, test case, that vegan person is doing the thing, and they can go click on the menu and then see right there, this is everything I can do on the night. Like, they're so much more likely to just go ahead and book, right?
Well, there's confidence there.
There's confidence there, yeah. So that as a thing is like a really important consideration, right? Like, is understanding what are people seeing and what does it say about you?
Well, and reflect your offering.
Yeah.
So if that's part of your offer and you back it in as being something that you're good at, and and we're accommodating in a way that's more thoughtful than just we can adapt stuff.
Yeah, because
tell people that
it's just it's unblocking the entrance to more people.
Yeah. A vegan is still a person.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are the pitfalls then that you know often chefs or restaurant operators unwittingly, you know, succumb to when they're trying to portray a certain food offering?
Aesthetic.
Yeah.
And design. And, you know, like in an ideal world, nobody has to have a website because word of mouth and the integrity's already there.
Sure.
But we're not living in those times. So that's a battle I've had for years, is how do we make something look on brand and sexy and designed really well and not have a million pages on your website, but at the same time offer up all of the info to a very diverse range of people who are dining for very different reasons to be able to get the info that they need.
Yeah.
But wording, everyone likes things to be minimalistic, but in this space you kind of have to be challenged a little bit on that side of
tailor
things.
it to the experience and the audience.
You need words on your homepage.
Love that. Okay. Top of the funnel stuff. So you know, you mentioned it's like everything that happens to the guest before they enter your establishment. Any other ones there that you'd point out? Like, there's obviously the Google listing, the reducing friction on the booking experience, scare off factors that might exist on your website or on your menu. What else? Yeah.
Well, I think those 3 points of contact are the major ones that are drawing customers into you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a 1,000 points I could go into about the problems or the issues that people.
Well, can we do that? Because you know, I know it's going to be at risk of you know, dropping a lot of your IP on air, but like, spill the tea, man.
Oh,
like,
this isn't IP. This is, to me, it's common sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, because I've been in it for a million years. But
so you I love the approach that you have, which is that you go in with your health check, right?
Yeah.
And you've got this insane diagnostic with like a bajillion points of value. And you effectively review a venue, kind of do like a health check, right, on all these things. And then it's like, cool, now there's a really clear roadmap on where
there's
to
a
put the
benchmark of how many things that fit into that reservation strategy category can we make little 1% adjustments on.
So let's go granular. What like, just shout some shit out.
All right, so on your Google listing, right?
Yep.
So your hours, your tagline, is Google Reserve activated?
Yes.
Are your menus up there?
Yes.
Are you updating your images yourself, or are you just relying on the kind of
public
mongrel ones of the public? Are your social profiles linked? And then there's all these other enhancements that you can do with your Google profile, like offers and special events. Google loves you when you work on your Google listing.
Got you. So it will optimize you?
It'll help,
Okay, got you. Of course, right? If they're curating it. They're
And just think about your mum. Searching a wine bar in Richmond. If your Google listing hasn't identified that you're that,
right,
you'll never come up. So it's marrying all that information up.
Yeah.
And then on your website, similarly, like, are your hours accurate? Are the menus up to date?
Yeah.
What's the booking user experience like? E.g. the 52-page booking journey you went on the other day.
Yeah.
Anything more than 3 clicks to book is just insane. Like, you're kind of losing people.
Yeah.
Social links, so they're images that represent the venue. Can people get in contact with you? What's the load time? Can people sign up to databases? All that kind of stuff.
Can I jump in on that.
Yeah.
That's a really big one, right? Again, anecdotal, but can people contact you?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we are so notorious, right? That like in our industry, we've just got this really bad stigma of just not getting back to people.
Yeah.
There's always this embedded anxiety around how am I going to contact this person? So, and funnily enough, I tried to book somewhere else before I booked 400 Gradi last night.
Yeah.
And this other place, because it's like totally different cuisine, and it was a bit of a throwback to, one of our anniversaries. And the only way that you could book is by ringing them.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, it's 6:45 at night.
Yeah.
There's no way they're picking up the phone. Tried them anyway, and of course they didn't pick up the phone.
Right.
And no answering machine, no way of, I'm like, I guess we're done here. So, that just seemed completely fucking stupid to me.
Yeah.
But
they were around and they don't need,
Yeah, well, there you go, right? They don't need me.
Yeah. They're living in utopia.
So they can get away.
Yeah. They're like, we don't want to deal with online bookings.
Sure. But for everyone else though, like, do you need a phone or can you just digitize it all and optimize that experience? Like, aren't there chatbots and shit now? Like, what's the landscape?
I mean, there's a whole lot of AI solutions coming and that are in play. It all means nothing if you haven't got the setup right to start with. If a human struggles, like a robot will probably struggle too.
Yeah, that's very true.
Having online bookings or phone, like if you've got the capability to have both, you should have both.
Sure.
Not everybody.
Some people want to call.
Some people want to call.
Sure.
But if you're only doing online because your resources are limited, that's cool, but make sure you tell people that.
Nice, yeah.
Make sure you don't have a phone number listed on Google
that
people can't call you on.
Yeah, and also to that point, it's like tell people that. Like, just even if you just say, hey, we respond within 24 hours, it's like, okay, cool.
All of our booking availability is online.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
Don't email us.
Yeah, yeah, got you.
And if you're going to have a phone, make sure people answer it.
Yeah, that's it.
The battle of operations answering the phone in service.
Yeah. Who holds on to the bat phone?
Yeah. Reviews is another one that's connected to your Google listing.
What do you mean? Like, when you say reviews, what should I be doing?
Responding to everyone.
Responding to them.
No matter what.
And do you mean, like, is just a copy-paste job enough, or do I need to go really thoughtful and unique and specific?
You can absolutely set up templates, and you should, because, for people that are just chucking a 4-star review with not a lot there, all it needs is validation.
Sure.
But for complaints or things that require more, that's a personalised approach.
Yeah.
And again, Google loves you when you respond to everybody.
Yeah, gotcha.
Good or bad.
Yeah, gotcha.
And particularly the bad ones. If you are responding publicly, acknowledging something's happened and offering an alternative point of contact, it's a really good look for your brand that you're getting in front of it.
Yeah, and for everyone else that's reading the review, they go, okay, these guys care.
Yeah, this could be an anomaly, which is what you want people to think.
Absolutely. Well, even there's also consumer behaviour type thing. There's one of the greatest sales quotes I've ever kind of heard and absorbed was this kind of, I'll probably butcher it, but it was something along the lines of like, your customers don't expect you to be perfect, but they do expect you to fix things when things go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just such an important distinction.
Yeah.
Like when something goes wrong, you can't just be perfect and never have things go wrong.
Yeah.
It's just more about, hey, if something did go wrong, how did we deal with it?
Yeah.
If that's the thing
you sort of validate it, and if we haven't been able to validate it in venue at the time, and they've jumped online, that they're giving you an opportunity to fix things.
Yes.
Or acknowledge it.
Totally.
So respond.
Yeah, and show your intent as to how you deal with difficult situations.
Yeah. And I guess the reason why this sits in kind of res strategy guest services for me is that if you're doing all of the right things that you should be doing within your Google, you'll never have to worry about showing up in search results. And check your search results often.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's something I would do weekly. Am I coming up for what people, 400 Gradi, pizza restaurant, Melbourne, or pizza restaurant, Carlton?
Yeah.
If I'm not coming up, I've got some work to do.
Yep, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
What else? Oh, the phone. The phone is something that gets forgotten about in that if you have one and people can't get through to you, do you have a voicemail activated?
Yeah, right.
And is somebody checking it?
Checking it. Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we don't live in a world where people can just have one channel to make a booking, so one thing to monitor. People are making bookings on email, on social, on direct through the res system, maybe third parties, and then on the phone.
Yeah,
I would be thinking, if you're looking at your business tomorrow, are you capturing all of those, or is there a shitload of old messages for bookings on a Tuesday night that you missed?
Yeah.
And then there's other capabilities you can dial up or down depending on your phone system. Like
Got it.
if it is in the middle of service and somebody is calling to try and talk about a function in 3 months, do we have a voicemail prompts and things set up to be able to validate them?
It's another journey, right?
Yeah.
That you've got to be thinking about.
Yeah.
Hey, so you've given us so much to think about, and I think it would be great to jump to the other parts. But before we do, one of the barriers to implementing this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter whether you are, like I feel like there's always barriers to trying to make this stuff happen because it's a bit intangible and it's a little bit, or even though you just explained it so tangibly, it is still a little bit obscure to people. And there's always this idea of like ROI and cost versus effort. And it doesn't matter whether you're, running a big group and you need to pitch this to a board or whether you are just a single sole operator going, well, I don't have the fucking time. Like, how do you kind of stack this stuff up? Is there, if you're talking to a restaurant group CEO or you're talking to one person who's an owner operator, how do you get through to them to be like, hey, you can unlock this stuff, without it being such a big deal?
I think it's talking to some of those basics, cross-check your setup first and foremost. And I do think of smaller venue owner operators with this mindset, because that's like if they need to get it right before we even think about how we can do this on scale for a group. So
sure.
It's like reservation strategy is making sure that the people can access your venue.
Yep.
First and foremost. So yes, care about what's on the menu. Yes, care about the quality of service. Yes, care about how good it feels in your restaurant. But if you aren't looking at the way that people can come in and experience that, then you're kind of not looking everywhere.
Sure.
You're being a little ignorant to just opening the doors and turning on the lights in the oven and hoping for the best.
What about the idea that it's just like, something's better than nothing? Like I remember my dad told me once when it came to cooking, he's like, hey, even marinating something for 30 seconds is better than not at all.
Yeah.
And is it a bit like this? Like I can go, hey, everyone falls into this trap of going, I just need to get it one day that I can just go lock myself in an office and get all this done, and that might not happen for a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, if you got 5 minutes to just do one of these things and just do that every day, after, 2 weeks, you'll have 14 amazing 1%ers in the bank.
Massively.
Yeah.
And just looking at the back end of your system before you even get overwhelmed thinking about Google or websites or social, it would be implementing a checklist for your supervisor or manager to cross-check these things in your reservation setup every day, which could take 10 minutes. Because if you're onto it, you're not adjusting a massive amount of different things. You're actually just tweaking and pulling different levers.
Totally.
So it's not complex and it's not difficult to do and it's not that time-consuming.
Yep.
But it's got to be on the radar.
It's just chip away at it.
Chip away at it. Yeah.
Totally. And that's just often the answer to so many things.
Yeah, and if you logged in today and you noticed that your availability was cooked for midweek, and you change the dials today, you'll do more covers next week.
Yeah,
so
amazing. Start now.
Start there.
Yeah. Hey, I know there is so much more to get through. I feel like we could spend another hour talking about more of just what you do, but I reckon we might have to part to it because you've just given us so much to talk about, dude. And it's just, this is useful stuff. You know, it's not vague, it's not obscure. Usually anything associated to marketing has this kind of, you know, intangible element to it. You just literally gave us some gold.
Yeah.
So you're a weapon, dude. Thank you.
We can chuck on like 5 things to just look at in your res strategy today.
Yeah, okay.
Like, get under the hood and do that today.
Maybe we'll throw like a little shared doc in the show notes or something.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Legend. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening. Show notes, takeaways, and tools are available via our website, pax.melbourne. The PAX Hospitality Podcast is produced by PAX and Crate Creative. Support for this podcast comes from Square and Brunswick Design and Innovation. Our music is produced by Patricia Heath and Matthias Vestergren.